There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
Oh, what's up and welcome into episode number 32 of the Program Guys podcast. My name is Mesa Prince, joined with you as always by Ryan Tyson, Mark Hall, Matt Gann, Patrick Hertzberger. Today is Wednesday, August 17th. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at Program Guys with a Z, on Instagram, Program Guys with a Z. Follow our Facebook page, Program Guys Podcast. 75% of you who are watching this video right now on YouTube are not subscribed to the channel. We had a great week last week, people. A lot of people subscribing after we called you out. Really appreciate it. If you're watching this video on YouTube right now, look right below you right there. There's a subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that. Trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. We're going to do it because the program is strong with our viewers. Boys, how we doing?
We're doing good, baby.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
sure are.
We were just talking about how Ryan is really studying up for his fantasy football drafts this year.
We definitely
Evan,
Guys,
He actually
said-
called me last week and was like, "Can you send over your notes because I know you won twice last year and it would really help me out."
Here we go. Here we go. All right.
Of course.
Great.
Of course.
Always living in the past, never the future.
It is a tradition at about, mid to late August where I start coming in and I start complaining about playing fantasy football. And it happens every year. And all I can say is at least I'm consistent, guys. You know what to
Nothing
expect.
if not consistent.
You
consistently
know
bad.
what to
That's
expect.
consistently bad.
Consistently, we get to draft week, and it's like, do we need to replace Ryan? Is he actually real this
Well,
time?
And then he
even when I threaten to leave, you guys are like, no, you can't. And
Well, no.
you know what? I get suckered into it, and I'm there
Yeah.
on draft
And
night.
here we are.
No one quits the program. No one quits the
Bang.
program.
That's
Pulling
right.
me back in.
Can't do
Unless
it.
you're Latrell McCutcheon, and then you're welcome to quit the program.
That's fair. Speaking
We're
of
good.
the program, we'll go ahead and get into some OU football right now. There was a scrimmage last Saturday, boys, and really cool that a lot of the alumni and even parents of players were invited to go in and watch that scrimmage inside Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Not a whole lot to break down from that since, nobody really saw it or knows what happens. But I think that was really cool that they had that scrimmage. But some big news coming from that scrimmage: TD Roof is going to be out for the season with some sort of bicep injury. I don't know if it's confirmed that it's like a torn bicep, but the media was allowed at practice on Tuesday and saw him not practicing and in a sling. So he is going to be out for the year. Brent Venables confirmed. How much does that hurt that linebacker room, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think it hurts. He's a senior, had a lot of game time. I know he was a transfer from Appalachian State. It would have been kind of a bit of a different football for him, but again, we brought him in, he had a lot of good game time. So I think this hurts. And BB said, there's been a lot of improvement in that room, but at the same time, it's there's not a lot of depth in that room either. So I don't know. This one hurts.
I think Pat made a good point about the depth. And we heard even his TD Roof's dad, Ted Roof, say during his press availability before fall camp started that, TD was going to have to fight for a starting job in the first place. So really TD just added depth to that linebacker room that is much needed because we know everybody gets banged up and scraped up during the season. Somebody's going to get hurt at some point. Would have been nice to have a TD Roof fallback. Anybody else?
Yeah, I will step in here. So I think the thing with TD Roof, he's a redshirt senior transfer from Appalachian State, right? He's a coach's son. The guy is more of a coach on the field than he really is an athletic playmaker anyway. So I think as long as he sticks around the team, is in the linebacker room, is doing recovery there, and his dad's the coach. So guess what? He's going to be there. I think the guys are still going to benefit from his presence as much as anything else. Maybe you do lose a body, you lose a guy, that sucks. But it's like we're all saying, he probably wasn't starting anyway. So hopefully he can still have a really positive impact on the program.
Matt, Ryan?
Losing a body hurts, especially like you were saying, Mason, people do get hurt all the time at this position. I am just extremely high on Danny Stutzman and the 3 freshmen that are coming in. That I mean, I think TD Roof was going to fight for a spot, and he probably wasn't going to get that spot. But I don't know. I'm not a coach on the field. I'm not sure, but that is deductive reasoning. So yeah, I mean, it sucks. I never want to see anybody get hurt and anybody go out for the year. That's terrible. But like Mark said, I agree with everything he said. He's a presence, and it's going to be important to keep that in the room.
Yeah, this is BV's specialty group, right? This is what he's known for, the linebacking core.
Yeah.
And I think we're trying to figure out what that linebacker chart is going to look like, who's going to step up. That's the heart and soul, the kind of the quarterback of the defense. So obviously very unfortunate injury to, get hurt in preseason football practice, but someone's just going to have to step up, next man up. That's what the program's all about. So just kind of throws another loop into the linebacking room. But BV, this is again what he does. So I don't have any doubt they'll come from it and someone will step up.
BV talked to the media after practice on Tuesday. Scorcher in Norman, over 100 degrees. They were back at the rugby field. He took some time to talk to the media after for about 20 minutes. He mentioned something that I wanted to point out. He's not a guy who singles one specific person out. So I thought this was kind of telling that he mentioned Billy Bowman by name as someone who's probably playing the best on the entire defense right now. Or did he say team? Well, he said defense.
He said defense.
He said defense. What is that? What do you think that means, Matt? BV doesn't call one person out. He's notorious for not wanting to leave anybody out. So for him to single one person out, what do you think that means to you about Billy Bowman's performance?
It's a huge deal. Just like you mentioned, he usually talks, I wouldn't say vague, but just more position groups than, like you said, naming individual players. So when someone is performing or doing above the standard, that's when you're playing some darn good football. And we've heard a lot about Billy Bowman, not so great last year. So hopefully it sounds like he's had a transformation over the past year. Obviously, he got Smitty. I've seen a couple pictures of the difference between what he looked like last year and this year. And I mean, I'm sure he's not going to be the only one with that sizable difference, but he looks good. And I'm excited to hear his name being called out. He'll be a standout performer, not just in preseason, but also on the football field.
Somebody else jump in if you need to. No? Okay. We're going to move on then. What?
Well,
Go
just
ahead.
in general, just the Tuesday practice recap. I think we should talk about that a little bit and his what he said on Tuesday. And he mentioned the kickers. That was the first time I've kind of heard of the kickers, and he had positive things to say about the kickers, and that was good in my opinion. And the other main interesting thing I found from Tuesday was the running back situation. Not sure who number 2 is, so that was interesting.
So as Pat was talking, I started thinking about Billy Bowman again, and Patrick, I agree with everything you said. I think the kicker battle is super duper interesting and something that is underplayed. Until the back half of last season, Burkich was Mr. Reliable for us, and that's going to be a big deal. But so Billy Bowman, as we're talking about him, reminds me of Buki in a way, in that we all sort of expected his arrival and then instant impact to be really powerful, immediate, right? And with Buki and with Billy last season, we didn't really see the development that you would want to see. I think it's very interesting to see in just a few months with this coaching staff, he is the best player on the defense in fall practice. It's really something to see talent get developed.
So my biggest takeaway from him mentioning Billy Bowman is that the secondary has given me and OU fans for the past 5-6 years splitting headaches. The secondary has not been the strong point of any defense. And for Brent to come out and say arguably the best player on this defense right now is someone in the secondary makes me extremely excited. It makes me very happy. And to Matt's point, bigger, stronger, faster. That's got to be one big part of Bowman's rise. Is he just Boston, bro, chill out. My dog is scratching like crazy. Jeez. sorry about that. A little behind the scenes action. Anybody else about Billy Bowman or what Patrick said, what Brent had to say to the media before we move on?
Yeah, sorry. One thing I did misspeak. There's not a running back battle. There's a quarterback battle for number 2. Still
Gotcha.
don't know who quarterback number 2 is.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's kind of scary that no one stepped up.
So apparently he was asked about fall camp and how he's setting a foundation for Oklahoma to succeed. And he's quoted as saying, well, having coached in half of the national championships in the last 20 years, there's a blueprint. We're in good hands.
I love
guys.
that.
We're in
Love
good
flex.
hands.
He doesn't brag about
Flex.
himself often, but that was sweet.
No,
cool.
but he's so self-assured. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Anybody else before we move on? Okay, let's move on. AP poll was released on Monday. We're not going to dive too deep into this, but Oklahoma comes in at number 9 in the AP poll. They are a top 10 team according to the 63 voters, or is it 36? Are my numbers mixed up? I don't know. Whatever it is, they're voted number 9. Fun fact, lowest OU has been ranked in that preseason AP poll since 2015, where they were 19th. So we don't have to dive too deep into it, about too high, too low. We did ask a question on Twitter. Thank you to those who voted in our Twitter poll. And about 66% of the voters in that poll thinks that OU is just right at number 9.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at where USC is this year, which I think they're what, 13, 14, right around that area, going from 4-8 to a 13 or 14 ranked team. I think you see what kind of the benefit of the doubt we have gotten over the past few years from our like explosive offense and having Lincoln Riley and, having those quarterbacks that we've had. And, we're not going to get that this year. We've talked about this ad nauseum, but like people don't quite believe in us yet. So they're going to stick us where they think, oh, well, they're high enough, but we aren't going to drop them to like 24 or whatever. One of my biggest takeaways from this list though, is that Texas is not on it. So that is something I need everyone to hear about that.
Yes, correct. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
was just say, from my standpoint, again, brand new coaching staff, love it. I think we're just slightly too high, just because we have not played one game yet. There's a lot of hype around the next year's recruiting class, but I've yet to see what we're doing with this team yet. Again, a lot of hype in practice. I get it. It's probably some own self-bias. I love it. But look what happened in what was the year you said, 2015, where we were ranked 19th. I like being in that position where we're just kind of in the background. No one kind of knows yet. There's not a lot of hype. That was the year we went from 11th and we got into the playoff, right? I kind of like when we're on a little bit on the back burner, not too much expectations, but now we have all this hype. I mean, I get it. We just haven't played a game yet. So I got to see a first game. We got to get to Nebraska. That's where I can really believe in the team. But the schedule is set up for a top 5 finish. I have no doubt about that in a Big 12 championship. But there's some good teams ahead of us that I believe in. So we'll just see what happens. Slightly too high, though, I think.
So, Dan, to your point about 2015, isn't that the year we got demolished by Brent Venables' defense
We're still there.
in Clemson?
I think so. I think
And
that was. I think,
It was
Uh,
like Orange
yeah,
Bowl. Orange Bowl.
possibly. Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. I just wanted to
Yeah,
throw
it
that out
was.
there. It's fun
it
little.
was because the following year was the Rose Bowl loss to Georgia, I believe.
Georgia.
So yeah. But
then
that
we
was
brutalized Auburn, baby.
no.
Yeah. Auburn never had a chance.
That's right.
Never.
Do.
That's right. Well, let us know. Too high, too low. Comment on our YouTube video down below if you believe OU is high or low. Real quick, Anton Harrison named the best 2023 NFL draft prospect by ESPN. Gotta love that. Well, by the way, I'm going to get to Anton Harrison in a little bit when we
On
have a little-
Oklahoma, right?
Yes,
they,
on
chose
Oklahoma.
the best
Yeah.
prospect on our roster.
Yes, the best
Yeah.
prospect on OU's roster is Anton Harrison, according to ESPN. You guys agree with that? I feel like, I don't know, in a team that's full of not sexy guys right now, in terms of like NFL draft prospects, he's a guy you can just pick and be like, yeah, he's got the size.
It's
He
good to
could
be
be
a
an NFL
tackle,
guy.
man.
Yeah,
It's
I
good
mean,
to
we
be
just-
a tackle.
I know.
Yeah, we just don't know. Well, like Gan said earlier, like we don't know how this team is going to play. It's a completely new scheme. It's a completely new coaching staff. I mean, like we have to see it first.
Nah, give me Jalen Redmond though. I think he'll end up being a
I can agree
higher
with
draft
that.
guy. Sliding
I
into the 3-tech, he's going to eat guards and centers alive.
I can agree with that as well.
I'm surprised by Marvin Mims not being. I'm sure he's pretty close, I would assume, but this might be the first year where we might not have like multiple kind of first round, second round guys. We just don't have that caliber of a team, unless Mark, you can name me 3 or 4 guys on the top of your head. But I mean, I barely even knew Antoine Harrison, and now he's the best NFL prospect on our team.
No, but we
I don't know
didn't
what that
have
says about overall about our
multiple first
team.
round picks last year.
Yeah.
No, but we had guys in the conversation though. This year, I couldn't name 3 or 4 guys even in that conversation at all. So we'll see. I don't know.
Long year. We'll see.
Pat, anything to add?
No, nothing here.
All right. OU recruiting talk, boys. We're moving on. The train keeps on rolling. Jacoby Johnson, 4-star athlete out of Mustang, Oklahoma, commits to the Sooners last Friday. Was it? I believe it was Friday
Yeah.
or Saturday, whatever it was. He's committed. Add another 4-star to the 2023 class for those Oklahoma Sooners. Guys, this is big for me as an Oklahoma guy. I firmly believe if you're going to be a quality team, you have to win the state that you're in. The best player in your state has to go to Oklahoma every single year. There is no reason that OSU should even be in contention or a school from outside the state. If you're the best player in Oklahoma, your dream is to play for Oklahoma. And we can't let guys keep leaving the state to go to like Iowa State or Alabama or other schools. Like they have to go to OU.
And this staff is starting to rebuild those relationships.
Yeah.
And I like that. Doing stuff like Eric McCarty's a guy that good pickup Oklahoma guy. Cade McIntyre from Norman North, good pickup Oklahoma guy. You just gotta keep those guys around, baby.
Yeah.
Joby got away, but not Jacoby Johnson.
Exactly.
And he is a freak, man. His senior year, he got big.
Mhm.
He is a man out there. He's yoked up.
Do they
But
think he's
look,
going to be like a defensive back type?
That's what
Yeah.
look, the people who recruited him are Jay Valai and Brandon Hall. So
Okay.
I would say
Mhm.
so.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he wants out of it too. I'm just wondering, who do we think is more fit, Jacoby Johnson or Mason Prince? Because it's hard
That's
to
a tough
it's hard
one.
to
It's
tell.
Jacoby
mean,
Johnson.
No, it's Mason Prince, of course.
Guys,
Look,
look.
I've no doubt he's faster than you.
Oh,
But
100%.
everything else,
There's
everything else.
guys, I'm 30 now. It takes me 20 minutes to warm up hamstrings. I can't even run
But
anymore.
once they're loose, baby.
That's right. Exactly. Firing on all cylinders.
Mark, you make a good point, and this I think is a good segue to the next guy that we're about to talk about, Vickers, the cornerback that is crystal ball to OU. A guy that we really haven't talked about is Jay Valai, the cornerbacks coach who we got from Alabama. I think he's low key, kind of under the radar, making some really big moves in the
Crushing it.
recruiting world. Crushing it. Listen, we've talked a lot about Todd Bates, Miguel Chavis, rightfully deserved, but this guy Jay, the cornerbacks coach, I think we're sleeping on him a little bit. I think he's doing really hot in the recruiting trail. And if we get this Michael Vickers, another 4-star CB,
Makari.
Macari,
Michael
that's big.
Vickers.
That's big.
Michael.
For us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
That's a
but,
tough
The
name.
notes, I'm trying to look
Vickers.
notes.
yeah,
You know.
but Matt makes a very good point. I mean, as of now, he's a 93% chance to head to Oklahoma. That's according to On3. They released a prediction for his commitment. He is not yet to be committed. I think it's in a couple
been-
weeks. It's
He's the one that's
So,
doing
like,
it during
September.
halftime of one of his games. So
Yes.
I think it's like mid-September.
Oh, it's mid-September. Okay.
I
So
think.
he's pretty close. I'm not going to lock him in yet, obviously, because no one else has. So you can't pretend that he's going to be added to this class yet. But if Valai lands this guy, Matt makes a very good point. You can put him up there with Todd Bates and Miguel Chavis as guys who are just crushing the recruiting trail right now.
Establishing a completely new defensive recruiting identity on the road. We're going into Florida. That's where Makari Vickers is from. We're dominating Kansas City. We're taking guys from Nebraska. Like, they're just places where this staff has been able to get guys. We are now getting guys. It's very cool to see.
And
Ryan.
No, that's totally fine. I just want to reiterate something that we've talked about a few weeks ago. Like, they are doing all of this without playing a single game, without coaching a single game. And it blows my mind every single time, because it just is like, those kids are coming here for something other. Of course they want to win. Everybody wants to win, but they're coming here for something other than that too. Like, there's something else that is bringing them here. And that's pretty amazing.
Go ahead, Pat.
Great points about Valai. I think last year he was between going to the Eagles, and then he was hired by Bama after that. And that's where he developed his relationship with Vickers. So for him to be able to pull him from Alabama recruiting into OU recruiting is huge.
Love it.
Pat on the beat. I love that.
Man. Pat's in it, man.
That's awesome. Hey, real fast. He's listed at 6'2", 195. Feed me.
Yeah.
Big, tall, long corners.
Agreed.
Love
That's a Jalen Ramsey type build. I'm about it. That's what you love to see. Another recruit. Big news in the recruiting rankings world, I suppose. PJ Adebaware earns his 5th star from On3 and Composite 247 rankings. So he's moved up from a 4-star to a 5-star prospect on those two sites. Not yet a Rivals 5-star. That's to be noted. Those composite rankings take, what'd you say?
Haters.
Oh, haters. I thought you said yes, he is. I was like, what? Did I miss it? Those composite rankings take from all of the big recruiting sites, On3, Rivals, ESPN, 24/7, and makes a composite ranking. So that's why he's a 5-star recruit now. He joins Jackson Arnold as the only other 5-star so far in the 2023 class. This class continues to look great for Brent Venables. And again, doing this without playing a game is massive. Shout out to Jackson Arnold, liking our tweet on Twitter. Appreciate you, Jackson. Loyal program guy, listens to the show every week. Shout out to Jackson. Anybody else? How awesome is this for PJ? He was retweeting stuff all day today about the 5-star stuff.
He's a monster, man. Georgia wanted him, Michigan wanted him. We got him. I can't be happier for him and for us.
Miguel Chavis even retweeted his 5th star today by Hayes Fawcett or somebody else tweeted it out, and Miguel Chavis retweeted it. That was pretty cool to see.
Nice.
Yeah, we talked about this multiple times. This could be the most historic OU class, and they still have yet to coach a game altogether. I don't know what more you can say. The old regime never got a top 5 recruiting class. They always had kind of top 10, late in the 7 to 8 range. We're about to get possibly, if Vickers commits and a couple of guys still on the radar, a top 5 class in the very first year after what we've been through. I don't know what more you can say. It's pretty incredible what the staff has been able to accomplish.
Last November, the highest paid coach in the Big 12 ran away from Oklahoma because he didn't think that the program, the administration, his staff could keep up with the big boys in the SEC. He's more or less on the record with it. Fast forward 9 months, man, we're looking at a top 5 recruiting class, 2 5-stars, one on either side of the ball, and dominating the defensive recruiting side like we have not done since I started watching football. It's so cool to see. So cool to see.
Anybody else before we move on?
Did this move us up on 247? I know we're
not that I
6.
know of. I think. I looked at On3 and we were 7th.
Okay. 247 has us on 6.
They have 6th. Okay, yeah, I see it. I see your. Yeah, I got overall ranked 6th on 24/7. So, yeah, the class just keeps getting better. and they're going to continue to get better because like we said, there are still players out there who have yet to commit, who are highly ranked prospects who have Oklahoma well within their radar of teams that they want to pick.
There are guys who are committed who have Oklahoma well within their radar of
Yeah.
teams they want to commit to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
eyes out on 2 DBs.
It's yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on, guys. A little fun segment. We did this back. When was this? I thought I put the date in here. I didn't. I'm an idiot. I think
In
it
the
was from-
spring.
yeah, in the
It's like
spring.
March, right?
Yeah, we made
was right
some
after the spring game.
predictions.
Hmm.
Yes, correct. We made some predictions right after the spring game about what we were going to see for the OU football upcoming 2022 season. We're going to read through those old predictions and then make some new predictions right as we're going to make them today, but as we're heading into the 2022 season. So first off, let's see what those old predictions were. Mark has Jaleel Farouk is going to lead the team in receiving yards. Ryan had OU losing one game. They were Big 12 champions, no playoffs, but they win the Sugar Bowl. I think OU ranks in the top 10 in total defense at the end of the year. Gan with a burning hot take. Dylan
Just
Gabriel,
fire
a
here.
2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Way to go on a
You
limb.
best believe it.
And Patrick Hertzberger, Stoops,
So
Drake
flaccid.
Stoops. Drake Stoops has the most catches on the team in 2022. So that's
a
where
fun one.
we made those back in April, I believe, because they were after the spring game, so they
Yep.
had to be in April. So now we're here. We're at August 17th. Boys, we're 2 weeks away, just over 2 weeks away from OU kicking off against UTEP. No, incorrect?
No, I think you're right. I'm just like I'm shocked. It's mid-April.
Yeah,
Mid-August.
so close.
Continue.
So close.
Yeah, just a little over two weeks away from OU kicking off against UTEP at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Let's make some other picks. We're going to start with Mark. Everybody, we're going to make our picks one at a time, kind of discuss them, and then we'll move on to the next pick. Sound good? Instead of just listing them all off right from the jump. So let's start with Mark. Go ahead.
Yeah, so kind of along the same theme with my spring one, I wanted to zero in on a player that I'm just sort of staking my flag in, and the prediction is Marcus Major will lead the team in carries, rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns. I think that Eric Gray is not long for the starting job. I think that the offense wants to move fast and pound the rock, and the pounding the rock part of that is something that Marcus Major is, kind of a badass at. He is very capable of doing it. There is a quote from Brent Venables at the press conference we were talking about earlier, where he said Marcus Major is having the best couple of weeks since we've been here.
Yep.
He said that DeMarco Murray would even praise him, say he's had the best mindset since he's been at OU. He's finally in an environment that is forcing him to keep his eye on the ball. And I think Marcus is going to thrive. And I think he is going to be a better fit than Eric Gray. And he's going to take that number one job. So there we go.
There was a lot of wind at that press conference, and we should have him inside from now on. However, he did not mention Eric Gray, I don't think, unless he did it during the wind. But
If you're able to watch on YouTube, go to Sooners Group's YouTube, and Eddie's video doesn't have wind.
Okay.
He had a wind
Cool.
protection microphone. So I think
good stuff,
there's-
Eddie.
Yeah. And yeah, good job, Eddie. I don't agree with you, Mark, but I agree with you in the sense that I love Marcus Major. Like I want all of the Marcus Major stock that I can get. I don't think he's going to lead the team in all the statistics. He may lead them in a couple for sure. And I think the carries one is where you might be right because they use Eric Gray so much in the passing game. His carries may decrease because of that. But in terms of yards and touchdowns and everything else, I don't know if I can get on board with that. But again, I love Marcus Major, and I'm on the record as saying as such. I firmly believe that he's probably the best running back on the roster, but I think they believe too much in Eric Gray.
Mark,
we'll
I hope
see.
you're ready. Mark, I hope you're ready for this. I think
Dan's
both of your
face.
predictions are going to be wrong. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm just going to tell you straight up. I'm
Yeah,
just
at least I'm predicting things, Matt.
there. Oh,
You're
no
like
future.
throwing darts and okay if you hit the wall.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to give you my reasoning, just like Mark or like Mason gave his reasoning,
Yeah,
which I
maybe.
think was fair. That's what I was going to say. If you would have picked one of the categories, I probably would agree with you. But all three of those, especially with the running back by committee, I think OU is going to play, especially with Tyree Walker also being part of that depth chart as well. Again, if you would have said like yards or TDs, I might have given it to you. But three major categories, I just don't see it happening. Your other one about Farouk leading and receiving yards, that's a very hot take. I think it's going to be Marvin Mims ultimately. If it's not Marvin Mims, I would be surprised, especially the way DG throws the deep ball. I think Marvin Mims is going to be the most likely guy.
Man, that coaching staff loves Farouk, though.
We'll see.
They love Farouk.
We'll see.
Again,
Yes, Tyson.
didn't we already talk about the April predictions in April? What happened?
I'm just saying I had to throw it out there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Listen, guys, we
yeah.
agree too much. I
feel
want
like
to disagree, and especially with my rival on the pod, Mark. I
They're
had
your
to.
rival.
That's
Yeah,
right.
everyone else is right. Your predictions are golden. Okay, let me get to my prediction. Okay,
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
spring one kind of coincides with my fall one as well. So I agree with what Mark was doing. I see the play that he was going with. I mentioned DG having a 2-to-1 interception ratio. If that's going to happen, I believe OU will have a top 5 offense overall under Jeff Levy, because as we know, Jeff Levy at Ole Miss for the last 3 years has had 3 top 3 offenses. I think with DG having that familiarity and the weapons with the running backs and the wide receivers, definitely possible for a top 5 finish for the offense. That's my
I don't think that's as hot as you may think it is. I think Levy has the track record to show that he can do that pretty much anywhere he goes, and getting a quarterback like DG in there and the wide receiver room that's apparently improved massively over the summer. I think they're going to continue to show out in Levy's offense. I'd be shocked if they weren't a top 5.
Matt with another soft prediction, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty soft.
The
Better be right
rivalry is
than
The
that.
rivalry is alive and well.
No, it's not even that. He gets to talk. I get to talk a little bit, right?
Yeah.
OU will be a top 5 overall offense. Yeah. Okay. So Jeff Levy, who just
I
had
think
top
that's
3
stretching.
offenses the last 3 years, with worse talent than OU has on offense this year, against better defenses than the Big 12 is going to offer, is only going to have a top 5 offense. So his offense, you're giving yourself 2 spots to fall with a better team against worse defenses. Soft, baby. That's not quite 2-to-1 soft, but that's, man.
Pat Ryan, jump in there.
Ryan, go ahead.
No, I honestly just need this energy between Mark and Gan right now. I think it just makes us all better. We need to have our own
it is
rivals.
soft.
Patrick,
Iron-
you're now
Iron
my
sharpens
rival.
iron. Iron sharpens iron. That's for sure.
Patrick,
Go ahead,
Patrick
Pat.
and
We lost you. I think you muted yourself.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here now.
Yeah,
Oh,
baby.
I wasn't muted at the beginning. I think it's a soft take.
I
Soft
like
take.
it.
Yeah, just like your hot takes the last couple weeks, huh, Pat?
Oh, classic.
Classic.
Classic. Classic.
Mm.
All
Can't wait
right.
to hear this one.
We've been doing some defense. I want to get to, or doing some offense. I want to get to defense. Ryan, give me yours.
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to look at the defensive line and
Mhm.
really like the improvement that I think we're going to make at the defensive line. So last year I looked at our total sacks for 2021 and we were at 33, most of those coming from Benito. And I think in 2022 we're going to break 50, which is a 51% increase over the 33 from last year. We've said this constantly over the last few weeks, but I believe this line is going to be bigger. It's going to be faster. It's going to be stronger. And I don't think that we are going to face the offensive lines in the Big 12. We're going to face the same offensive lines that we faced last year. But I think because we're going so hard on defense and our new head coach is a defensive minded coach, that is going to be our main focus this year. So I think that's going to get us over the line. So 51% increase in sacks.
I like it. If that happens, I'm telling you right now, if Ryan's prediction is correct, there's zero chance that this team isn't in the playoff.
I
There's
agree.
zero shot. Like they will be in the playoff if Ryan's prediction holds true. and I don't
Well, I'm
I
kind of
don't think that's a hot
counteracting.
take.
I'm kind of counteracting my spring take then.
I know
But,
you kind of are, but that's all right. That's why we keep the record. That's why we
Yeah.
keep the record.
No, it's fine, guys. Like 20 of them are going to be versus Kansas or something. I don't know.
Probably. Pat,
Yeah, I don't know, four or five sacks a game. That's tough. But I like it, but that's tough.
So I just did the math on Clemson's total sacks last year, just
Perfect.
for fun.
Yeah.
Right. 42. So I am
okay.
excited by this one. I like it. Monster statistical increases are fun predictions.
Hey,
Much better than
you
Mark's
know,
prediction.
And
I
Clemson
like
had
it.
a down year. We're not gonna.
all right, Pat. Let's get to yours.
Can we go to yours?
You want to do mine? Yeah, we can absolutely do mine. So mine, respectfully, boys, I think mine's probably the hottest take of the five of us. And I think it's that this offensive line is going to win the Joe Moore Award for the best offensive line in the country. Keep in mind, this isn't an award for one particular person. This is a unit award for the best group of offensive linemen. You look at left tackle, Anton Harrison. People think he's an NFL prospect, obviously. McCade Tower, going to be your left guard. Improved. Andrew Rame, who has apparently had an amazing summer and by all indications is crushing it at the center position. Andrew Rame was a highly recruited guy out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma as well. So he has the talent there and the size. Murray at right guard. I think he might be your question mark, but you look at right tackle, it's a battle between Savion Byrd and Antoine and Morris right now. Wanye Morris, sorry, Anton Morris. Wanye Morris and Savion Byrd. And by all accounts, Savion Byrd is the spark plug of that offensive line. So he may have the edge in that battle for that starting position. I think you look at that group right now, they have the size, they have the tenacity, and they have the experience to be one of the best offensive lines in the country and probably the best when all is said and done.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Because we had a kind of bad O-line last year and
a really bad O-line.
I know.
can't really
Again,
point to any individual that like, oh yeah, well that guy is gonna be this
I know.
better.
again,
but-
bigger, stronger, faster.
It's
Mhm.
exactly.
It's the
Exactly.
theme.
I know. Bigger, stronger, faster is one of the main themes, and you get back to a system that is going to allow these offensive linemen to hit people in the mouth and not wait to get hit in the mouth. And I think that's something to be said for an offensive line who is just ready to be unleashed. And a Bill Bedenbaugh led offensive line. Let's look at the dude's track record. He hits more times than he misses. Okay, last year was a miss. Undoubtedly, they should have been better, but now they're back. They're more physical. Bedenbaugh is going to get his piss hot. Give me that offensive line. Anybody else?
Mason, I just think if your prediction comes true and my prediction comes true, we're looking at Natty, baby.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely.
I love
Definitely.
how we try all to be kind of level-headed, and we come out here with these predictions, and we're like, honestly, if we're right, it's a national championship. It really is.
It's a natty ring.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, I wanted to go last because I do think that some of y'all's takes trickled into my takes. And if we do have the best offensive line in the country, if we do have a top 5 overall offense, that my prediction will also be true. And my prediction, and I've said it in the past, but we have new listeners, a lot of new listeners. So I want to say it again and be on
Bang.
record. I think Dylan Gabriel is going to New York City as a Heisman candidate this year.
I don't think that's a hot take.
You've stuck by this one.
Well,
Pat,
it was.
so-
It might have
Yes.
been like 5 months ago, but
And granted, we're not asking you to make a hot take. So I
Right.
guess this is
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a prediction in general. But by all accounts, if this offense is a top 5 offense, like Matt thinks it is, and the offensive line improves and Dylan Gabriel looks like he's looked for his entire career and he does it at Oklahoma, there's no way that he's not in New York, in
Yep.
my opinion. I mean, because looking at the field right now, I mean, Bryce Young will be there. You'll
Mhm.
have the Ohio State quarterback right now, who's I'm blanking on,
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. He'll probably be there.
You'll probably
And
have
Gabriel-
one of the Ohio State receivers.
Yeah, and Gabriel will have comparable stats to both of those guys, and if the team wins double-digit games and are in at least sniffing some sort of playoff contention, absolutely, Gabriel will be there.
Guys, 50 sacks, top 5 offense, DG the NYC, and the best offensive line in the country, plus Marcus Major.
Thanks, man.
Sorry, Mark. I had to throw that one in there.
It's
Mark's-
okay. I want to make look.
It's kind
I'm
of
making
crazy
fun
that
predictions.
it's kind of crazy that like Mark started, and Mark's might be the most like level-headed out of all of us.
I know.
'Cause when he first
Everyone else
started,
is like-
We were
I
like,
feel like
nah.
all of us are like shooting for the stars right now. And if everything
hey,
aligns,
you'll land them. Wait, no, it's shoot for the moon. You'll land
Yeah.
among the stars. I try
Exactly.
to be cool, guys.
Wait,
but what is
Stars are
pre-
further than the moon, though.
Mhm.
Every star is further than the moon.
but what
Yeah, so
is
shoot for the stars.
preseason?
You'll land on the moon.
What is preseason without high expectations? If you don't
I
have
agree.
high expectations going into your season, then what's the fun of being a fan? You should enter
Completely
every
agree.
season thinking your team's got a shot at a playoff berth
If
or a
I had
shot
to be
at
a
winning a
fan
national
of a
championship.
school, if I had to be a fan of a school that was just shooting for 500,
Dude,
man,
I think about that a lot. Like when I talk to my Aggie friends and my Longhorn friends about their seasons, I'm like, that would really suck. I'm only used to losing like 1, maybe 2 games.
yeah, and like
Mhm, mhm.
everything about my sense of self in the fall is built on those Saturday experiences. Like
Yeah.
if we lose, and if we lose more than like 2 games, I don't know how bad it gets. It's
Yeah.
been a while.
I mean,
know.
I am already planning my trip to either Phoenix or Atlanta for December 31st. So
that's
We'll
hot.
be there.
you know,
I love the way you think, man.
yeah.
I
I hope it's Phoenix because last time we were in Atlanta, things didn't go too hot. But
It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Let us know in the comments below or on Twitter, on Instagram, what your prediction for the 2022 season is. Let us know if you think ours are right or if ours are wrong. If we have hot takes, cold takes, let us know. We read every single comment that you leave on our YouTube channel. Every single one. We read every single one. I try to reply, or the guys try to reply to all of them that we can. Okay. To a certain extent. All right. To a certain
Mhm.
extent. So
Some of y'all are wilding.
like, subscribe, comment. We read them all. Appreciate it. All right, moving on to some NFL news, guys. Gabe Burkich cut from the Packers. The Burrito Bandit is no longer on an NFL roster as of right now. He could be signed by someone else. Matt, this is your team.
Yep.
Why'd they cut him?
He missed a pretty easy chip shot during the preseason game for the 49ers. That's what happens. You get a chance, you can't execute, you're going to get cut, especially for kickers. And I know Mason Crosby, the old timer who might not retire, he's injured right now. So I know the Packers have been trying to find maybe a replacement kicker. And unfortunately, Gabe couldn't make the cut, as one would say.
I mean, we always got a support program, guys, but has anyone had a worse fall from grace than Gabe Burkich?
I'm telling you, it's
He
the
was
damn
so good.
burrito.
I
It's the
know.
damn
It's so
burrito.
fire.
He was. He was
was
on
so
fire.
good.
He couldn't
He was
couldn't
so
miss
good.
anything.
No.
And he was swaggy. Like
Yeah.
he was just a fun kicker to have. And then literally he kicked the burrito in the off week and he was
broke
never
him.
the same.
Yeah.
I've
It
never
broke
seen
him.
anything like it.
It broke him.
Dude, we were
Really
sending him
did.
out there for like 50-yard field goals, like confidently.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. He'd go out there and be like, yeah, it's money.
Yeah.
He's gonna nail it.
He's like lined up at the 40. Cool.
I honestly wish he wouldn't have gone because I feel like we kind of had a feeling this may be coming because he did not have a good end to the last season.
It was a weird early exit. I agree.
yeah,
it was.
he should have
I-
stayed.
Yeah. It's weird.
He
But
was probably thinking like, if it's gonna get worse, that won't be good for me. And he was like, I've had like,
Maybe.
basically I've only had bad like half of a year. My other years were amazing. So let me take that goodwill and go into it. And then he just wasn't able to perform.
Yeah.
He saw Jerry Schmidt and said, I'm out.
yeah, he did. You saw Jerry and he was gone. All right, some other NFL news. The NFL 100, I believe, is what
I
it's
hate
called.
this.
It's the top 100 players in the league ranked by the players. I don't know how they do it. Maybe a ballot format or you write down a name on a piece of paper.
The players that decide to take part in it, write down 100 names in
My
whatever
God.
order they think. I mean, it,
How many submissions do they get? Like
I mean,
5?
100. You got to write 100.
No.
Did you say
People
100?
who are actually like submitting them.
Oh, I don't know.
Probably just
Who would write 100 names?
well, but like that's the thing, right?
Mhm.
Who's doing their research
Yeah.
None.
to make sure people end up in the right places on this?
Mac
Whose
Jones was ranked the
offseason is that?
85th. Mac Jones was ranked
Yeah.
the 85th player. That's a joke.
the
Oh, for
Patriots.
Captain Kirk Cousins at 99. What a ridiculous.
Yeah.
I
don't
can't
know. I
even.
like Cousins.
Ryan, do you have any
With-
passionate anger for this?
I mean, no.
With,
I don't really I don't really care that much, if I'm going to be honest. Like you said, Mark, I like the process around this doesn't work for me. And so I'm not
process
really
guy.
going to care.
Yeah.
I am a big process guy,
He is.
and I'm not really going to care about the results if the process is bad. So
Well,
With you.
speaking of results, CeeDee Lamb coming in as the 95th ranked player according to this list. Kyler Murray coming in at number 57. They're releasing the top 50 at some point this week or next week. I'm not really sure what the schedule is like, but those are the two OU guys on the list so far. Maybe there'll be some other. Trent Williams has got to be in there somewhere in the
Gotta
top
be.
50.
mhm.
Um,
I think it's
But-
it's already out. Yeah,
Oh.
because Mark Andrews is 30.
Oh,
And,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
yeah, just like to name the guys: Aaron Donald 1, Rogers 2, Mahomes 3,
Of course,
Josh
he had
Allen
to say
4,
it. Shocking.
Cooper Cup 5, Tom Brady 6. I don't know how you put Tom Brady at 6. He's
No.
got to be 1A, 1B, or 2A with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how you put Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen or Cooper Cup. I know Cooper Cup had a historic season, but Tom Brady almost had one of his best seasons last year at 45. I just
Man.
don't know how you put people in front of him.
People just want to anoint Josh Allen as
They
like
do.
the starlet of the NFL, and I just don't get it. Like, he's good, but like, is he better than Brady? Like,
No, not at
if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, would you take Josh Allen over Tom Brady right now? No. No, you
Yeah,
wouldn't.
old people can't
Yes.
perform in the snow.
But Tom
Well,
Brady
also, I mean,
Josh
if you're
Allen
talking-
is
if
big
you're-
and he looks like a transformer. He's built for it.
do you know where Tom Brady played at?
Yeah, I was about to say, he
all of
played
his
20 years in New
career?
England.
I understand.
Somewhere
Do
up
you
in the
understand
north?
how his
How many
last
Super
few
Bowls he won in
years
New
it didn't get
England?
so good, and now that he's in the nice tropic climate, he's doing better?
Yeah,
There's-
he's also 20
notice
years
that?
older.
You
I
know
would
why
say
people
40 plus.
There's also a very
but this is the Brady we have. Matt, we're not talking about 07 Brady. Oh my God, Ryan, please.
No, I'm just thinking about like climate here and weather. There's a very large snow accumulation difference between Buffalo and Boston.
Nah,
Just
Yes.
saying. Just saying.
Yes.
it's still cold.
Lake
Lake
effect
effect.
snow.
Lake
Lake
effect.
effect snow. It's a
Yeah.
beast.
They get a lot. All right. Let's move on to our must watch of the week. Ryan is back. Give me
Bang.
something to watch. We're only a couple weeks out from football. I
I
need
know.
something to fill my time, man.
I know. Okay. I'm gonna hit you with something that you can watch right now, Mason.
Okay,
Because
thank you.
and it's not super long either. So I'm gonna be talking about today a movie called Prey on Hulu. I think this is one of those that I've talked to like every single one of you like individually about this movie, and then I bring it to the pod for everybody else. So that has been kind of my theme lately. This movie is on Hulu, so streaming exclusively. You can't find it in theaters. And it's a Predator movie. So most people might know, Predator, the original Predators, Predator versus Alien. Essentially, it's a action film franchise from the late 80s, early 90s. And it centers on an alien race of quote unquote predators, is what we call them, who hunt humans and, other aliens and are basically warriors. So this film is directed by, I did not put his name down here and I should have. I think it's Dan Trachtenberg. But he directed Cloverfield Lane. I'm forgetting, there's a number before Cloverfield Lane, but he directed that, which was a really great film back in 2016. And this movie is about the first predator to arrive on Earth. and it happens about 300 years ago in the 1700s, during or placed in the Comanche tribe of the Great Plains. So this is early 1700s, and this movie is all about one skilled Comanche warrior who is protecting her tribe from the predator or the highly evolved alien. And that highly evolved alien is basically hunting the entire tribe one by one. They're fighting against like multiple things: disease, colonizers from Europe, and crazy aliens all at the same time. And this is like a full-blooded action movie. And it's really, really great. It's let's start with barrier to entry. As always, it's kind of a slow start. So the exposition of it starts slowly, and it takes a little bit for the predator to arrive on Earth and actually get to the point where things are starting to happen. So you just have to like get through the first 20 minutes. And after the first 20 minutes, it like takes off like a rocket, and would highly, highly recommend watching it and getting through that part. Another thing, if you're queasy, this movie is extremely violent. So it's a predator movie about a crazy alien killer who's hunting down animals and Native American people, and it's intense. So very violent. High points. It is a quick 1 hour and 40 minutes. Guys, we love a short movie. I'm really, really getting over 2.5 hour plus movies. And it's really nice to just sit down, watch something for 90 to 100 minutes, watch it all. It ends, and you're like, yeah, that felt good. That felt good. There's a really great lead performance by Amber Midthunder. She is a Native American actress, and does a really, really great job in this movie. There's not a lot of dialogue in this movie. It's pretty, it's action heavy. So a lot of the scenes are told through action scenes or through, movement or through quiet like spaces and things are going on around you. But she is really able to show like an effective performance through her facial expressions, through really like her reactions to things, and like how she's going up against this like alien creature that has a cloaking device and is like, what the hell is going on? When I first started this movie, I was really worried how they were going to handle like this highly intelligent alien life form with advanced technology versus the Comanche tribe, who has like their main weapons are spears and bows and arrows. And I was like, how are they going to be able to like even out the playing field? And they do it in really, really interesting and unique ways. And the movie is very smart about that. And so it never feels like, oh my God, this predator, these people just have absolutely no chance. Like they come up with really inventive ways to make that playing field a little bit more even. The fun fact here, this is the first movie that is fully dubbed in the Comanche language. So the original language is English. So when you watch it originally, they're speaking English. But when you turn on the dub, you can listen to the entire thing in Comanche with subtitles, which is incredible. And it's never been done in a movie yet. And I believe all the actors are the ones who actually dubbed the language over the top of the film. So really good shit. Go watch it. It's on Hulu. Quick 1 hour and 40 minutes. Great action film.
Ryan, so I read online that it's like 20% a Home Alone movie. Can you like speak to that comparison? Because I like that drew me in hearing that.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't happen in a house, but
but I think hijinks wise, right? Like
yeah. I mean it's very creative. Like Home Alone is creative. Home Alone is like how can this little boy handle taking out these two adult men who've like come into the house basically, and he does it in really unique ways. And this is basically the same way. I mean, this is a teenage female warrior from the Comanche tribe who is facing this very, very intelligent alien life form who in the movie like takes out, I'm not going to spoil it, but takes out like a ton of people, things, animals, so on and so forth. And they have to make that believable, and they do that in really creative ways. So yeah, I mean, I can kind of see a Home Alone movie, especially like the ending. Like the ending action scene is extremely like Home Alone puzzle strategy vibes.
They missed a very big opportunity to get Arnold Schwarzenegger in there and make him learn Comanche.
Or did
Definitely.
Have you watched it?
No, I haven't
Have you
watched
seen
yet.
it?
Well,
No, I haven't.
you don't know.
He's got to
Watch-
be in.
Watch
don't
watch
know.
the
I'll freak out if he's in there.
Watch the trees. Watch behind the trees.
Oh, I'd love it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Well, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. Let's move on to our PGP MVPs of the week. I'll go ahead and I'll get us started. My MVP of the week is Harry Potter. Boys, I haven't watched the full Harry Potter series since probably they came out. So however many years that is.
Oh, wow.
But like I
Okay.
haven't watched like the first movie, like Sorcerer's Stone, since it came out. So like I'm essentially watching all these movies kind of for the first time, and they rock. Like I'm
They're
on
good.
Order of the Phoenix right now, and they hold up, man. The first one, Sorcerer's Stone, not so much. It's old. You can
Yeah.
tell they're
Mhm.
young kids. It's hard to get into it. But after that, Chamber of Secrets on, flames, fire, dude.
Mhm.
And I applaud those movies because they rock. All
They
right.
hold up well.
They do.
hold up well.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a great transition to my MVP.
Yeah.
Was in a former movie, the caddy for Adam Sandler in Happy Gilmore, Will Zalatoris,
That's right.
winning his first PGA Tour win at the FedEx St. Jude. Guys, he's become almost like a little young Roy McIlroy. Everyone's rooting for this guy. Listen to his year that he's had. Second at the Masters, second at the Farmers, lost in the playoff at a PGA, the PGA Major Tournament Championship,
Was there. I saw it happen.
lipped out at the playoff at the US Open, came in second again, and finally gets his first win. The man is 25 years old. Even Adam Sandler reached out on Twitter congratulating his
Yeah.
former caddy. It's remarkable,
That's funny.
this man and his journey. And his quote, this is why I had to pick him. He quoted Steph Curry, who he's really good friends with. What they going to say now, which is what Steph Curry said after their improbable championship run in June. This man was a well-deserved win. It sucks that wasn't one of the major championships, but it went to a epic 3-hole playoff. I mean, this guy had to subdue the guy that was coming behind him. It was incredible. It was electric. The final playoff hole was an island par 3. The ball got stuck between the stone and the grass. It didn't even go into the water. He had to figure out if he was going to hit it. He ended up taking it from the drop zone and put it in with a clutch 10-foot putt. Well-deserved victory for Will Zalatoris. That he is my MVP.
The what they going to say now thing is just an amazing thing to say from a 5'10", 150-pound golfer. I love it. I love it, man. He was
Incredible.
fired up, though. I'll give him that.
You can
It was
definitely tell he wanted it more than anyone, and well-deserved, honestly.
well-deserved. All right,
Speaking
Ryan, what
of-
you got? Oh, Pat, go.
No,
Pat,
worries.
I
Just
like
speaking
it.
of no, I was
The
going to comment on
segues.
Matt's. Just speaking about Happy Gilmore, Shooter McGavin got arrested recently, and when he was getting arrested, he was like, "Hey, man, I was on Happy Gilmore." Like,
Oh,
wow.
man. Come
I
on, man.
love that
He was also
like-
in American Pie Beta House, but like, come on now.
when famous people get arrested and they want to get out of it,
I
they
know.
go to the thing they're most famous for. Like, dude, that cop probably wasn't alive for
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like
I know.
sometimes that's got to work though. Like if you're Drake and you're getting elected, you're arrested. You're just like, hey, man, I'm Drake.
Yeah, you're like, what are you talking about,
Yeah.
dude?
It's like you
I
can't
know.
do this.
I know.
I got
All
more
right,
people
Pat.
around here than you do.
Oh,
Pat, take
Yeah,
us. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead. All right. I was going to have him be my MVP last week. Really glad I waited because he was even better this week. My MVP of the week is Jamal Musiala, 19-year-old German international soccer player, playing absolutely lights out. He's currently the top Bundesliga goal scorer killing it there. He, in my opinion, is a top 5 dribbler in the world, 19 years old. Seriously, you can get around anyone. ball sticks to his feet, no problem.
Better or worse
It's
than
been-
Kyrie Irving.
I was
Well,
gonna make a
they're
basketball
similar. They're
joke in
similar.
there.
Similar. Okay.
So he doesn't like shots either.
Okay. I don't know anything about him, Mark. So I'm just talking about German soccer. Let me go.
Yes.
He's been part of the Bundesliga Team of the Week, which is like the best 11 of the week, 2 weeks in a row. And he was the Bundesliga MVP of the week. So most valuable player. So that's why he's also my MVP. The next time you guys will hear about him will be probably in November and December when he wins the award for best World Cup young player in the world.
Okay. A bold
And I'll let you
prediction.
know when it happens.
Always
A
German
ball.
footballers.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
German
You get-
footballers.
hey, this is his segment. It's everybody's segment.
It's
You
everybody's
do whatever
segment.
you want. All right, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, okay. So mine's a bit more personal. I'm gonna give my MVP this week to Elizabeth Tyson, my mother.
Program gal.
Program gal for sure, and is probably like yelling at me for calling her Elizabeth because she really hates that. So I am gonna give it to my mom this week because going on vacation next week, and I am taking my dogs to her house in Oklahoma City. I live in Dallas, so about 3.5 hour drive. And she has offered this week to meet me in the middle and, take my dogs for me in Ardmore. And then I don't have to drive that far.
Amazing.
So I was going to have to do a 6.5, 7 hour drive. And now it turns into 3. So got to give a huge shout out to my mom. So
Love it.
Very
Mark-
cool. We love your mom.
yeah, she loves all y'all too.
My MVP is former and perhaps future NFL running back and future amateur boxer Adrian Peterson. Did you guys see the video today
Yeah.
No.
of him knocking out his sparring partner?
Yeah.
Patrick, give it a quick Google and let
Sure,
us know
sure.
what you think once I'm done talking, because Le'Veon Bell, who he is fighting for this, who he is most famous for not playing football, is going to get rocked so hard.
Yeah.
It might be the most impressive performance by an OU football player in years. I am so excited to get odds on this. I'm so excited to watch this. I'm so excited to drink during this.
Yeah.
Shout out to Adrian Peterson. I'm very excited. Cannot wait for the fight. My MVP of the week.
Have I
It's
been living under a rock?
I guess so.
No, you're just in
I did not
California,
know
bro.
they were fighting.
Yeah, they're gonna fight.
Oh,
They're gonna
that's
fight.
great.
He
Patrick, you don't use Google.
the
That's
best thing about the knockout was it wasn't even like a hook. He literally punched him square in the face.
It's
And he just fell backwards and was done.
This dude's
like a
got pads
tank.
on his head. He's
Yeah.
got pads on. He knocked him out.
Yeah.
I know.
September 10th.
Crazy. All right. And with
Wow.
that, episode 32 is a wrap. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Remember, we're trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year. Help us out. If you're watching this video now and you're not subscribed, subscribe right below. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Program Guys with a Z, on Instagram, Program Guys with a Z, our Facebook page, Program Guys Podcast, and follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. However you get your podcast, that's where you can find us. Rate us 5 stars if you feel so inclined. That's going to do it for this week. My dogs are, of course, freaking out as we're about to get off. Pat, take us out.
Keep pushing it, baby.